Hello and welcome to day 19 of December Daily. I am once again using Bree's prompt from Create December 2018, which for today is Together. I wanted to use some things I had received from colleagues the past few days, and I wanted to include this photo of myself and two of my wonderful colleagues from the school that I work in. And so I start with taking apart this little bag because I really wanted the picture to be behind that star. And so I just start by cutting it down to the size that would work for my traveler's notebook. So then I just make sure that the photo fits nicely into that star, and I just cut it down to size. And then since there was a little gap on that top, I just decided to add another little piece of that bag to just cover that empty spot. I actually wouldn't have needed to do that because I'm actually backing it also with that same bag, but I wasn't sure yet at the time I was doing this. So then I cut some more so I can make the backing. I'm just cutting that down to fit that size as well. And then I'm going to just run it through my sewing machine and stitch all around the edges off camera. Okay, so now I've stitched it, and I'm just going to cut the parts that weren't even. And I'm just going to ink around the edges as always with my Distress Oxide vintage photo. And I wanted to use that as a like a tip in. Then I had these two napkins that I had stolen from an event that we had for our students today. So I'm just taking the two of the plies off the back side so that I only have one layer left over, and the easiest way to do that is by just taking a piece of tape and placing it on the back side and just pulling it off. It's really quick and really easy to do it that way. So I'm just cutting out two of those same squares in a size that would fit. I'm just gonna place those underneath each other on that left side of the spread. And I must say, at this time, I'm actually really happy I didn't buy a lot of stuff for December Daily because I've had quite a bit to start off with, but without buying anything actually. But now I'm receiving some lovely gifts from colleagues, and a lot of them are wrapped in really nice things, and they have cards and everything with it, so I can use all of that in my journal, and it's so much more meaningful and special than just buying random things. So I really want to keep doing it this way. So now I'm just tracing around the edges a little bit so I know where exactly to place my glue, just to glue those down. Normally I would have instead used something like Mod Podge or matte medium, but since I've had really bad experience with wavy pages, I didn't want to chance it, and I didn't want to rip that napping because I only had one of them. So I just decided to try it with a glue stick, and it worked really nicely. And this way you get to kind of keep this feeling of the napkin, which you wouldn't have if you would just Mod Podge over it. So now I'm trying to figure out how I can make the tip in, but first I decided for the back side to add this tag that was from another gift, and I just kind of placed that on this tip in to make it kind of like a tab. So I'm just gluing that down. And now I'm using another piece of the bag that I just cut, and I'm trying to make a little thingy, technical term there, to attach it somehow to the page. So I'm trying to figure out how to do that best so it would work nicely. Once again, inking the edges, and then I'm using some double-sided tape to tape that little piece down on that page. As I can't tell you how much I'm enjoying making these pages and this December daily process. If you're thinking about doing this maybe next year, I can really highly recommend doing it if you haven't done one this year, because it just documents this period of December, and it's gonna be such a great memory to have. I have so many moments or memories that I'm treasuring, especially now because it's such a special time for me. It's my second last day at my work at school, and you know, I have a lot of goodbyes, and I know I'm gonna want to treasure all of these memories. So I'm so happy that I'm able to document them in this way. And so this journal and the month of December works out so well for me this year, especially. I mean, it is the first time I'm doing it, but I'm so happy I chose this year to do it. So then I just stamped the prompt together on that tip-in and the day 19, and I just wanted to add a little trim on the bottom with some lace, and I really like the look of that. And since I had kind of messed up the middle of that left side of the page in between the napkins, I decided to also cover that with some of that lace. And on that right hand side, I'm going to write about these two wonderful colleagues that had made me feel so welcome from day one 5 years ago when I met them, and they have been invaluable to my time at the school, and we formed new friendships and went through a lot of tough times, but also so much fun. And I will treasure them and all these memories forever, and I'm so happy I can document this here. And now I just added some tea stained paper, inked the edges, and as a final touch I am adding some washi with some red reindeers on it, just give it a little more accent. And now I'm just journaling about these two wonderful ladies, and yeah, that's the spread for today. So hope this was inspiring for you. Hope it gave you some ideas for what you could do. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye. I saw
come sailing in on Christmas Day, on Christmas Day. I saw 3 ships come sailing in on Christmas Day.